Spent 27 years in prison, been out 9 years. Let me tell y'all about this time I broke into the pawn shop. All right, so me and 3 of my homeboys, we had stole a car this night, and we decided we're going to break in the pawn shop. Now, their purpose for breaking into it was to get guns, and I wanted to get the jewelry because, you know, they have guns and jewelry in the pawn shop. So now we break into the pawn shop, and while we in the pawn shop, what happened was we stole 2 cars that night. So one car we would use to back into the window and bust the glass out, and the second car we would park a little bit up was the getaway car. We'll park it up on the sidewalk. That was our getaway car. And we'll park it in a way that the police cannot block the car in. The way we parked it, the police, if they came up, they couldn't surround it. So we always parked with that in mind, just in case if the police come, we need to do it this way so that blase squaze. So this particular night, we inside of the pawn shop, and everybody just grabbing guns, and they putting guns all over them, strapping them to them. So now I'm in the back, and I got a screwdriver, like trying to get behind the thing where they keep the jewelry. So I'm steady like knocking the thing. You just hear the noise, pop, 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 and I'm trying to get in there and get all the jewelry. Now, I did get a little bit of the jewelry, but a majority of the jewelry was back in the back where they had it locked down up behind this door with some padlocks and these other big type locks. I didn't have time for all that, so I got what I can, and I was stuffing the jewelry all in my pocket and everything. So as we begin to run out of the store, I was the first one to walk out. Now, when I walked out of the store, there was like 15 police cars all around. We didn't even hear these people come up. So obviously, the store had a silent alarm, and we didn't even know it. So I guess the alarm had went off, all the polices came and everything. So we go out, polices everywhere. I'm talking about we surrounded. I'm talking about, listen, if it had been back then, would have been now, we had did something like that now, we probably would have been shot down. But by the grace of God, the polices, they didn't even say nothing. They didn't even say freeze or nothing. They all just standing behind the door like this right here. And they police cars with their guns out like this, standing behind the door. And I'm looking like, dang, they ain't even saying that. So I got guns all over me. And the first thing I hear in my mind is, get the guns off your tree. So I started dropping all the guns, getting everything off me because I didn't know the process. I didn't know what they was thinking because they was quiet. And when I did that, I took off running and I jumped across a police car. He was sitting right there with the gun out like this, and he didn't even say nothing to do anything to me. I jumped across the police car and I slid over and jumped off and ran to the stolen car that we had parked over there as the getaway car. And I put the car in drive and had my feet on the brakes ready to go, right? So now I'm sitting in there, but I didn't pull off because I know my boys in there, and I ain't about to leave my boys. I didn't get down like that. I couldn't say, hey, y'all come out, or call them by names because I didn't want to call their names. Finally, they come out. So I see one of them come out, and he come out, and he look around. And I put the car back in park because I had it in drive ready to go. So I put the car back in park and I leaned out the window. I say, drop your guns, and come on. So he started dropping his guns and everything, getting everything off him like I did, right? So he look over there, I say, come on, jump across the car, come on. Because I figure, hey, I did it, they ain't do nothing, so they can do it, they ain't gonna do nothing. He look over there, and so I guess it registered to him, oh man, Tree, wait over there, how she get over there? And she did it, I'm gonna do it. He dropped the guns. He did the same thing I did. Ran across the police car that was in front of us. He jumped across that same police car, slid across off the hood, jumped in the car with me. Now we sitting there. So now we got one more homeboy in there. He ain't came out yet. So did he finally come out? Because it was so quiet. We didn't know the police was out there. Neither one of us knew the police we were surrounded by police. We didn't even know it. So he came out and we both said in unison, drop the guns, drop the guns. So he dropped his guns and the police still wasn't saying nothing. So he got everything off of me, de-armed just like we de-armed ourselves and got everything off us. We just de-rolled, man. Got everything off us. We said, run, come to the car. So it registered to him, hey, them 2 nuts waiting over there. How they get over there? He was like, okay. So he ran, jumped across the police car. Same thing we did. Slid across, jumped in the back seat. So anyway, now we put the car in drive. And I started driving off like, rah, rah. So now the whole force is chasing us. So we in the car and we talking. I'm like, dog, man, they didn't even say nothing to us. Like, they didn't say freeze. They didn't say none of that. So we just driving and everything. So my homeboy that was up front with me, he was like, let me try a tree. Let me drive a tree. But I was like, nah, man, I ain't finna let you drive, man, because I already know how they gonna drive. This what they gonna do. They gonna get in the car instead of them slowing down at the stop signs and slowing down for people. They gonna go through the traffic just doing stuff they seen on TV like, at least I slow down and I'm very cautious of other people that's around me. So I said, nah, I'm gonna drive, I got it. And so they was like, come on, Tree, let me drive. I say, no, I got it. Let me drive because I want to come out of this thing alive. You know, because I'm telling them, I'm like, boy, we die doing this, we going to hell. So I want to come out of this alive. So the whole while I'm driving, I'm like, Lord, forgive me. Lord, please. Lord Jesus, please forgive me. Let me get away, Lord. I won't do it no more. So the police right up on us. And they was like, Tree, stop slowing down and turn the corners. I say, man, I ain't finna flip and I ain't finna hit nobody. I ain't finna die doing this. So, you know, I was driving careful, but when it was a straight shot, I speed. But when it got to a stop sign, yeah, I slowed down and turned. I ain't finna wreck. So anyway, I got a good distance on them, and we wind up getting to a little area where I had them by like about 3 blocks. So I turned that corner. I said, everybody jump out. So they was able to jump out and get away. So anyway, I kept going because I wanted to keep the police concentrating and focused on me so they can get away. So they running and everything. I don't know which way they went. I happened to get about 6 more blocks up. And then I got out. And so I started jogging. So I'm jogging, right? So I got a little bit farther away from the scene and everything, from the car, from where I left the stolen car. So as I'm jogging, I see them in an area and they like, Tree. And I was like, man, what's up? I turn around and that's them. And I'm like, man, why y'all over here? Why y'all ain't just keep going home? He was like, nah, we gonna hide out right here. And I was like, all right. So I was like, man, I'm finna go home. They were like, nah, Tree, stay right here. So anyway, I stood there with them for a while. Man, no police came up in that area. We should have kept going. But they came up in that area and everything. And when they came up in the area, they had dogs with them and everything, y'all, no lie. So I'm like, oh, man, we should have just kept going. I don't even know why y'all stopped here. We would have made it home by now. I say, by y'all stopping here, the car ain't too far from here. That's why I was trying to get farther away as I could. They're going to know to search the area because the car up in this area. And they was like, well, come on, man. We going to run across here. When we get across here, y'all go this way, we go this way. They trying to split up. But we ain't had no time to do that because as soon as we shot across that alley, all them police came in. Shoot from everywhere. So we running now. We running, right? So now we get in this area where it's houses on this side, but it's a hedge of bushes as well. And we gone, right? I done went out in this field between these houses. It's this big old field with grass, but it's houses over here and it's houses over there. So then you got this little open space right here. And we got the little field back there, but we got hedges over here and hedges over there. Okay, so I gave y'all an idea so you could picture what I'm trying to tell you. So anyway, so we running. While I'm running, now I know the boys was ahead of me. They had to smoke me. But I'm back there and I'm running. All of a sudden, I see people on the side of me, right? I look to the side and it's the police. And the dog done shot past me. And the man that was holding the leash to the dog, he running with the dog. Now the dog is focused on the boys ahead of me. And you got a police over here on this side. He had a dog as well. But the dogs are so focused on the boys and the boys ahead of me. They done left me that they running and they don't even see or can't even see that I'm one of the ones that they looking for because it's nighttime and the area was not well lit. So both police done ran past me with the dog. When they did that, I showed y'all the area, right? I ducked off where the hedges was at and ducked down. And the police, the force kept running past me. Nobody even looked that way. The dogs didn't sniff me out. So they ran past me and went straight to the boys. Now, while they doing all that, I'm back there praying. Lord Jesus, please help me. Lord Jesus, don't let them get me, Lord. So I'm back there chilling because everybody done passed by me. They did catch my homeboys. They put them in the police car. They took them to jail, but they were still scouting the area because they knew there was 3 of us. And they had caught 2, and I heard a police come by, and he was on his radio, and he was like, we have 2 in custody, but there's another one. So they stayed in the area about 4 or 5 more hours. All right. So when they went up a little bit, I'm still in the bush. I'm peeping out. I could see everything, but they not thinking to backtrack and search the area that they just left. So I'm just in there just peeping now. So when they was gone and they had to move up a little farther to scout out another area, the house across from me had a carport thing. So I ran over there and I checked the car door because I was going to steal the car and get on out the area. But when I checked the car door, it was locked. No, it wasn't locked. The car door was unlocked. But I was like, man, I don't want to steal the car, you know. Because if I steal the car, they might hear it crank up. I don't know what kind of motive the car has. And if they hear it crank up, they're going to call the police. Police already in the area, and I don't feel like getting chased again. So, I just sat in the car and sat in the back seat. And then I laid out on the floor. And the man, whoever car it was, had a bunch of newspaper back there. So I pulled the newspaper on me like this right here to make sure that I ain't, you know, just in case they come back and they look in the car or whatever, that they wouldn't see me. So I wind up just laying there all night, kind of fell asleep. Next morning come, look up, I'm still safe. Eased up, peeped out the window, the sun was up. Got on out the car, walked home. Well, man, I want to just say, I was thinking about how God covered me that night. Now, he didn't condone it, but he did cover me. And I was praying all that night while I was in the car until I just fell asleep. A peace came over me and I fell asleep. But I just want to say, man, God had a hedge of protection on me that night. Like he covered me. I just want to thank God because he has covered me in some of the weirdest moments. Like, I know I should have been going to jail. I know I should have been arrested. But he covered me. And I just want to give God thanks for that, because as I sit back and I think about moments like that and how God actually kept me and had mercy on me, you know, I just want to share that testimony with you guys, because I want y'all to know how good God is. I just want y'all to know that even at our lowest point, even when we're not doing what we're supposed to do, he's still God. Even when you're not walking right, even when you're not walking as you should, even when you're not holding up your end of the bargain, he's still God. And just because you messing up, and just because you making mistakes, and just because you doing things you shouldn't be doing, does not take away the fact that he's still God. He's still faithful. He's still loving. He's still mighty to save. He's still God, man. He's still your father. He's still the one that you can go to, the one that can still the water and calm the sea. And no matter how off you are, no matter how messed up you are, it does not take away from the deity of God. He is still God, and he still sits on the throne, man. He's still God. Y'all be blessed now, you hear?